let's go. Good morning.
Good morning.
So you may be interested in getting into barefoot running, and you want to get someone who's actually done barefoot running, and you're looking for some perspective on whether it might be the right fit for you. So today, me, a barefoot runner, and my mom,
and I'm not a barefoot runner,
are going to talk to you about some of the things you should think about, the pros, the cons,
yes,
the questions you might want to ask yourself before you go and take the leap into the adventure of barefoot running. And just for your perspective, I'm someone who is in the last 9 months have done 100% barefoot running on treadmill, and now in the last month have been converting over to barefoot sandals. Historically speaking, I've done some barefoot running in barefoot running shoes, probably, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years ago.
Okay, I've never barefoot run before in my life, so I'm learning about it now.
And she's gonna give you her real and raw opinions to reasons why people say they do it and whether she would ever consider it. Do you think it's weird that people barefoot run?
No, I think that some people are very comfortable running, especially if they can find the surfaces like sand, or if they can find
like trails
of grass and things like that. I think it's a very comfortable thing to do for some people.
Right out of the gate, would you, if you didn't have a daughter who does it, and someone said you should do barefoot running, would you even consider doing it?
Not myself. Because of my age, I think it's too possible for me to get injured.
Okay, so that's baseline.
Yeah.
So let's talk about why you might want to get into barefoot running.
Yeah, go ahead.
So a lot of people get into barefoot running because of health reasons. They're looking to strengthen their feet, improve their arches, be able to have better running form, and find that a traditional shoe, or suspect that a traditional shoe is just not the right fit. And this is definitely one of the reasons I got into barefoot running, is I really struggled with that whole midfoot, forefoot stride thing that they talk a lot about. And I don't know if you guys have read the book Born to Run, or a lot of the people who have learned to run post that book coming out, but there's a lot about that, like striking the ground with your midfoot, striking the ground with your, like the balls of your feet. I cannot do it with shoes. And this is why years ago when I tried barefoot running, it did not go well. Because part of the theory, right, is that you're having weakness in your feet because you're not doing proper form. And so you want to try to do this better form, but the shoes are preventing you from doing it. The thing is even though I moved to zero drop running shoes or minimal drop, right? So the difference between the heel height and the ball height. I'm sorry about the technical, but like that slant, I still couldn't get the form right. I still had the same form issues, which is why barefoot running 7, 8 years ago didn't work for me. So the big thing that a lot of people talk about with barefoot running is it's gonna really help give you longevity in running, because you're doing a form that allows you to activate muscles that don't get used when you do heel strike running. And so while I wanted the benefits, despite the fact that I had barefoot running shoes, I couldn't get the form to work. For me, in order to actually do proper barefoot running form, I had to go barefoot. Is that a shocker?
No.
And the reason I started to feel more confident that I could actually get the form is because I started chasing my kids around the house, not in the mindset of running, but just having fun. And I'm not wearing shoes in the house. And then guess what? I started realizing naturally, I already do forward strikes on the ball of my foot when I don't have shoes on. The problem is, running outside, it's kind of hard to do it on things like, concrete. Started doing it on like asphalt and concrete.
Are you doing forward strikes now?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm doing forward strikes in my New Balances.
Are you?
Yes, I'm landing on the front of my foot.
Yeah, because the whole idea with the barefoot running, so I don't know if you know, how much do you know about like why with the whole activating the right muscles?
I don't know.
Okay, so I'll explain it to you. So the whole idea is that when you have the cushioning from all these shoes, is that your form becomes a running form that you wouldn't do naturally.
Wow.
Because if you think about your leg And mom's a nurse practitioner by trade, so she knows body anatomy.
Yeah.
But your toes to the ball of your foot, the ball of your foot to your heel, heel to your knee, and your knee to your hip is actually in a way a giant spring, right?
Yeah.
And when they look at, or the theory is, when you're not doing barefoot running or not proper form, so when you land on the ball of your foot, slash kind of slightly behind it, that spring can help absorb the force of your body coming down and can help push you forward. And the studies show like the force on your joints when you run versus walk is like 3 times your weight. That number might not be accurate, but it's something like that. And the way that your body can repeatedly absorb those forces is by using its natural spring system. And so the thought process is that when you're in shoes, a lot of people start heel striking. Do you know what heel strike is, Mom?
Yeah. You land on your heel first.
Right, and so you always hear this a lot with walking, but sometimes you'll hear it for advice for running is like that you go heel toe, right?
Yeah.
But the challenge is in order for you to land on your heel when you're running, is you're essentially like strong arming the ground,
Yeah.
right? So your knee is locked or close to locked, and then your heel hits, and there's 2 things that happen. One is that initial like 3 times your weight force is now all getting, instead of springing and then bouncing back, is now getting absorbed by the body. And this is then what leads to injuries, right?
Yeah.
Because then whatever is the weakest joint is where you're gonna have the injury. So you heel strike, and we can take a walk break. If you heel strike, right, it's gonna be your ankle, your knee, or your hip. And when you look at runners, those are the 3 major injury areas: heel or ankles, knees, and hips.
That would explain why when you're not injured and you start your run, and at the end, sometimes your knees hurt for no reason.
Yeah, and that can be wise because your knee is now absorbing that force, and the knee is not really meant to absorb the force, right? The knee is meant to be a hinge.
Yeah.
And transfer energy. So the idea is like if this is your leg, it's supposed to be like boing, 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 instead of like trying to do a lever action. So the other thing is that it causes additional forces because your heel hitting the ground first, it's actually, if you think about it, it's like a stopping motion that your body then has to overcome to move forward. So it's also making it just harder to run.
Yeah.
And when we look at like a lot of animals, and this is kind of the whole born to run theory, is when you look at a lot of animals that are running animals, everything from like horses and
cheetahs, tigers.
Yeah. Is that when they hit the ground, they're not landing with a fully extended limb, right?
Yeah.
There's always a bend to it because it's using that springing force. And with animals like horses, technically, they have one extra like joint movement because they're landing actually on their toe, because their hoof is their toe. So anatomically speaking. So the idea is that if we're running and stopping, this isn't good form, right?
Right.
And so it leads to overextension, and this is why we tend to get ligament damage and tendon damage when doing running when we have bad form. So the thing is if you didn't have shoes on your feet, what the theory is that you wouldn't run like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I was finding for me, is that if I didn't have shoes on my feet in my house, and so the theory is that we're having increased running injuries because people are running with improper form because the shoe cushions, right? Because over time, shoe cushions have gotten thicker and thicker, are allowing it to be basically for your body to be okay with doing wrong form because it's not really feeling the true force until it's too late, right? Until now that we've done damage.
Right.
And so that's kind of the theory behind it. And then there's more to it with Born to Run, which is that because there's so many running injuries now, a lot of people say, well, we were never born.
He looks like he's doing ball. He's landing on his balls.
Yeah, he's doing it too.
You're doing good form.
Thank you so much.
You're landing on your forefoot.
Yeah.
That's good.
And so the theory then was I guess kind of going around the running community is like, were we really born to run? And there's what I do definitely remember from the book was kind of the proof that we were born to run. And it really comes down to one part of your body. Could you guess what it is? If you haven't, she has no idea about this
No.
book. It's your butt.
But,
Because
well, I better run better because my butt needs work.
because here's the thing, right? When they look at animals that run, like when you think about horse and goats and stuff or not goats, I guess, but like horses and cheetahs, right? They have that rounded butt, right?
Yeah.
And even pigs, right? And they can do a pretty good trot.
Yeah.
But when you look at like ape species that don't run, like chimpanzees, right? Do they have a butt?
No.
It's pretty flat, right?
Flat, yeah.
Because they do more of a
No
walk.
butt in a chimpanzee.
She's just like yelling random facts to
They
people.
might find it interesting. There's no butt on a chimpanzee.
Not like a curved butt. They do have butt muscles. It's just not the same. They're just not like rounded. And that was kind of the point that the author is trying to make in the book, is that we were born to run because we have these oversized gluteus muscles which are there to help us run. And then basically it gets into two different tribes that they talk about who have running as part, that just haven't really been modernized. And these two tribes, how they are doing this historical kind of running, one in Africa, and it's a part of their hunting technique. And this then kind of breaks down why, how being long distance runners, like ultra distance runners, is actually part of how humans would have survived before tools.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard this?
No, I've not heard that.
Okay, so basically, like in the plains of Africa,
Right.
the way we would have hunted before we had spears and all that technology is we would have run down our prey.
Ah, yeah.
How can we do that? If that animal can run 30 miles per hour and we can't, then how do we run it down? Do you know, Miss Nurse?
But no, I wouldn't know. I mean.
So it's not because we would be faster than them, it's because we can out-endure them.
Ah.
So basically, and this is what this tribe, they got documented, does, is like an
Are they from Ethiopia?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember where they're from.
Because I thought that some of the winners from the
well, you know,
world
yeah,
marathons.
yeah, the real distance runners there, yeah. But so the idea is that like an antelope's running, right?
Yeah.
They totally outrun you, right? And you're just jogging along slowly. And then the antelope gets tired, it lays down. Because here's one of the key differences between us and most animals. There's another feature that makes us kind of distinct.
What's that?
We sweat.
Our brain.
No, we sweat.
Oh, okay.
So most animals, right, how do they cool themselves? Is they pant. So an animal's running, his cardiovascular system's increasing, they're heating up, they have to stop because they have to be able to breathe in and breathe out.
Oh,
What's our body doing? We sweat. So we can rapidly cool ourselves.
Right.
And so the animal can't, so it stops and lays down because it's outrun us, right? But we just keep jogging slowly towards them, right?
Yeah.
So we start jogging, right, very slowly.
Yeah.
We're not running 30 miles per hour.
No.
We're not even running 10 miles per hour.
No.
And we get closer to this antelope. Guess what does? Guess what the antelope does, right?
It takes off.
It takes off again. It goes sprinting off.
Right.
Well, then what happens? It gets tired.
It stops.
It overheats.
Yep.
It lays down.
Right.
And we keep coming.
Yeah.
Slowly, steadily, right?
So we can have dinner.
And basically, at a certain point, the antelope's brains just shut down and won't let them run anymore because they're so overheated. And now we can just walk up to it. And this is a physical feature of humans, is that we can run significant distance at slower speeds. And this is one of the ways we would have hunted a long time. Theorized. The other thing is that I guess in the 70s, there were some marathoners who came out of Mexico who were part of a tribe. And they all run barefoot.
Oh, wow.
And they still exist. And I don't remember much more about it, honestly, but those are kind of the key things. It was that our bodies were really adapted for the slow, steady running, which means the fact that we're getting injured so quickly must mean because we're moving too far away from what our bodies would do naturally.
Yeah.
Does that make sense as a nurse?
Yes.
As someone who knows our bodies?
Wonder how these people that are 88 and 89 and 90 years old do marathons, though.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, is that if you haven't ever created injuries because you're using that proper form, right? That natural form, let's call it, not just proper, but what our bodies would do.
Yeah.
So this is why they're also theorizing that there's an increase in running injuries. There's also a couple other things. They talked a lot about like Nike shoes back in the day.
Yeah.
How they were just like a flat piece of material.
Yeah.
And then as they optimized through the years, that's when we start getting more and more cushioning at the heel. And that changed how our bodies, so now our bodies are adapting to the shoe, not the shoe being in service of us.
Yeah, I used to wear Nikes in the 80s and the early 30s, and then I switched to New Balance and Isaacs.
Oh, is that what you've been using?
Yeah, I've been using New Balance and Isaacs. That's usually what I use.
But now it's going to come to the thing that I think is kind of one of the challenge points, right?
Yeah.
Is, so, okay, this is great. We love the theory. But if you are a person who's like, okay, I like the idea. I don't want to get injured. I would like to run for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I want to do this better form. Why might it work for you and why might it not? And for me, it works for me, but I had to remove all the materials. And the only way I could do it, and do it at any distance where I live, in Florida, in the city, is that I needed to do it on a treadmill. And that takes a lot of time to adapt your feet, because you're still adapting your feet to a pretty rough surface.
Yeah.
But it does have a little bit of a spring, and that's how I was able to do it.
Oh.
But it did allow me to feel more about what's going on in my body. And here's the nice thing about going into it, is if you are gonna try it, when you actually do true barefoot,
Yeah.
your skin on your feet will have problems before your joints do.
Oh.
So if you do true barefoot, if you don't push yourself, no going out today and being like, I'm gonna go run 30 minutes barefoot. Like, you start with one minute.
Right.
You will very quickly, your feet will be like, I might be getting a hot spot. I'm getting a blister.
Oh, yeah.
Way before you screwed up your arches and your heels and all sorts of stuff. Before I did this, only had I have 2 leg injuries that are systemic, that come way from a long time ago. One is a plantar fasciitis in my left foot, which is driven from an injury from college that has nothing to do with running, but has allowed it to pop up during running, during long runs. And the second injury is actually from doing track in high school when I used to do hurdles, and there was an exercise my coaches had us do, and it damaged a muscle up in my groin area on my right leg. So I had motivation to keep trying this, because usually around mile 5 to 8 on half marathons, I mean, I had major, I'm not walking on the side of my foot. I'm walking on the side of my foot for miles, because it's like a nail has been shoved in my foot. Or my groin, I can't lift my leg to swing it. This has come out on mountain hikes too.
With your foot, which foot is it?
It's my left.
Your left foot, and is it hurting the arch area? Is that the main?
Yeah, it feels like someone's shoving a nail in there.
Oh.
I realized there might have been another injury that's contributing. Do you remember when I was in middle school and I was friends with, her name was Ashley. Her mom worked at a horse barn or a horse ranch or something.
Ashley Spooney.
No,
not Ashley Spooney. Oh, okay.
Ashley something else.
Oh, okay.
We were there, I think it was 6th grade, and it was after school. I was in a goat paddock, and I stepped on a rusted nail because there was a...
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember this? There was a sign for the goat paddock had fallen under the mulch, so you couldn't see it. So luckily I had those super padded shoes that you're not supposed to wear that give you bad running form, and so it went up through that and into my foot. Super fun. But it was also my left foot. So when I do and there's a thing I had heard once, and I don't know if this makes sense medically, but there was this thing that people were talking about with chronic pain, that the fascia remembers old injuries, and it can cause, it sends the electrical signals to almost recreate the injury in a way.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder,
that is true,
when I do too many heel strikes, because the injury I got in college was from landing on my heel too hard. My leg swelled up 3 times the size. We thought maybe I broke it. I didn't, apparently, which is great, but I had all this swelling for weeks. And if I'm heel striking too much and then I get that nail feeling, and I mean, it feels like a nail in my foot, is it recreating it?
Yeah,
but
you see that with trauma patients too. Even though they may be healed 20, 30 years, their muscles will still, on some days, be as if they just got injured.
Yeah.
They'll have pain in their muscles.
So for me, it's with the barefoot running, it's about not re-triggering that hard impact, 1, and then 2, I work with a massage therapist to try to retrain, re-release that fascia.
Yes.
So that if I do hit my heel randomly, my body doesn't go and so we feel like there's a nail in your foot.
Yeah.
So would you ever consider, kind of now hearing some of the stuff about barefoot running, does that feel like something you could even try? Not would, could. try?
Well, I could try it. I think doing short runs and see how it works, but I would have to be on flat surfaces like this is cement, and formed cement and everything, like a sidewalk. I would have a lot of trouble with dealing with uneven terrain because I would be too afraid of twisting my ankle or injuring my tendons or something in some way. So I have had injuries also to my tendons in my right foot.
But you have a specific injury or a specific problem that
I do have one, yes.
And what is that one?
Well, I wore shoes, sandals that were improperly made, and what happened is it caused a cyst to develop on the tendon, and it's still there. It's right closer to the arch of the foot, but it's right below the ball of the foot. If I hit it, it's extremely painful. I have looked into a podiatrist to remove it one time, and he literally wanted to cut out a portion of my ball of my foot, and I said, absolutely not. I would not be able to run or walk properly ever again. So at some point, I'd like to find somebody to just do an incision. I've removed cysts from people's wrists with doctors. We've done the cysts that people get on their wrists when they do improper things with their, with gymnastics. I have one there too because I was a gymnast.
But I think here's the thing that you're saying that I don't think gets said. If you, through shoes you've worn throughout your lifetime, have caused your feet to change significantly over time.
Yeah, the sandals
with like
did.
Bunions and cysts and stuff like that.
Yes, and I have a bunion too, one bunion on the right foot.
And some people, right, it's literally caused their feet to not be able to do proper form. It like causes like their toes are literally twisted on top. I personally, no medical background, feel that you're probably going to do more damage
to running barefoot,
of any significant distance.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could do like a 100-meter sprint, but or a 100-meter run, but I don't know that you're doing a marathon barefoot.
Yeah, I feel more comfortable with there being cushion under my feet, so it offloads the cyst on the left foot, and the right foot I do have a bunion. Now that doesn't bother me from a physical point of view, but I don't want it to start bothering me.
Have you ever run like barefoot just like in your place or in my place with the kids?
Yes, I have done that, and when I was running with you right now, I stayed on the ball of my foot all the time.
That's good.
Yeah, so and the only thing that started happening near the end when I said I needed to walk was my right knee started to ache a little bit, and I wasn't sure why because I don't have knee problems.
Well, any form change you do can cause aches and pains, right? Because you're going to activate muscles.
It's gone though, by the way.
Right. Oh, well, that's good. But it's going to activate muscles, and I think that's one of the tips I would give people is no matter what you change towards, do it in small amounts and slow down because
and stop when it gets really painful. Don't wait till you're like in this really bad situation.
Well, don't even wait till it's really painful. If you're starting
to hurt, then stop.
Yeah, hurt, or even if it's starting to ache. Like to me, if it's aching while you're doing the activity, just stop.
Yeah.
Because the idea is you're running for lifetime, right? The idea is to go run for lifetime, right? So at least that's my goal, right? Is to be able to be 99.
I have been running since I've been about 14 years old, and I am quite old now. I'm 68. I'll be 69 in a month.
Oh, I was going to be nice and just say she's of an age if she didn't want to share.
Yeah, it's so I want to be able to run till I can't live anymore.
So to me, it's like whatever change you're going to do, you do it in small amounts, right? Over time and distance. And the other thing is this is one of the things I'm working with Mom on right now, is slow down.
Slow down, yeah.
Slow down. Because you shouldn't be pushing yourself when you're trying something new. The idea is to let your body have a chance because any form change, no matter what, you're going to be using a muscle differently than it's used to using. Which means you need to let it build up, right?
Yeah.
The tricky part is if it's a small muscle, right?
Yeah.
It's harder to notice.
Right.
If the big muscles are like, yeah, we're okay, that little guy might be like, oh, I can't handle it, but you can't hear it over the big muscles. One of the other things that people like to do barefoot running, so for me, I guess to kind of bring it back on the loop, because I didn't really finish this idea for you guys, while doing this round of barefoot running, I count my last time, but I didn't ease into it. I was already running miles. I tried to switch to shoes. I never actually like really ran barefoot anywhere. I just went to barefoot shoes and I couldn't adapt my posture and it just didn't work for me. And it actually led to me getting hurt more often, not less. Yeah. This time around I started, and I have a whole video kind of talking you through the process, but I started 1 minute at a time and then I just kept adding 1 minute. And I built up the calluses on my feet, or built up the toughness, thickness of my feet over time. And it took me a good like 4 or 5 months to do this, to make my way up to 30 minutes. And now I can run a 10K barefoot on the treadmill. So I took a lot of time, to get there. And then because I did it slowly, eased myself into it, kept the paces easy, I have not seen a return of plantar fasciitis, even though I'm getting to the lengths and time periods of running that I would normally feel an injury.
Yeah.
So easing into it. So that has helped me avoid getting, plus adding the massage therapist to help me with my foot over time. Those things have really helped me avoid injury this time around and have a nicer time. So as I looked at lists of why people might want to barefoot run, there was something I didn't see on there that I find advantageous. And that is, if you learn to barefoot run, and then maybe if you're going to do stuff outside and you move to like a barefoot sandal, you don't have to worry about losing toenails. Is that something you ever thought about, Mom?
Yes, because even though my New Balance are wide enough and they're long enough, I have a bruise underneath my right great toe from hitting the shoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has not gone away. It's been there a couple months now. It's just underneath the nail, and I just I can't get bigger shoes, or I will be flopping in and out of them.
And to me, a medal for a race is not a reason for me to lose a toenail forever. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's one. Two, also, if you learn to barefoot run and you're running like on a treadmill inside, or you're able just to literally run barefoot in certain spaces like on grass and where you, like not concrete and asphalt kind of places. But if you're able to do that, you'll also save a lot of money. Because if you're a runner, do you know how often you're supposed to change your shoes, Mom?
3 months. Every 3 months?
It's supposed to be like every 200 miles.
Wow.
On your shoes, and if you run regularly, you're doing that.
I haven't done that.
you're supposed to like be changed. Like the people who run.
I wait till they wear out.
Yeah, but the people who like run marathons and stuff and half marathons regularly, they burn through, like they're replacing their shoes like every 3 months.
Wow.
Can you imagine that?
I probably have done 200 miles in the last 6 months, though.
Well, that's my thing is this, so it can save you money just because you don't have to buy as many shoes. That is a thing. You can just save some money by being barefoot runner. Some people want to get more connected to the earth. I can't speak on this. I run on a manufactured treadmill, so I am not more connected to the earth. But I will say that it does give you more, because I walk in sandals a lot, so I tend to have better, I feel like, balance and awareness because I can feel things with my body. Let's see. And then some just want to connect with the earth. Yeah, I don't know. I was talking to a guy who does some barefoot running, or he has the barefoot running shoes, and he's like, they have holes in the bottom of them so he can get more grounded with the earth. And then I said electric. I'm an engineer, so I immediately go electrically. Yeah. Are you electrically?
Go that way.
No, we'll go that back.
I don't want to go back all the way down.
Oh, okay. You don't want to go back down there again? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I thought we were going to do 3 loops. And I can't really speak on that because that was never a goal of mine. So I guess, how do you react to people feeling want to be more connected to the ground? I guess if you grew up in a place.
I can't imagine. I don't know how that feels, but I imagine for people maybe raised on farms or out on ranches.
Well,
I imagine very connected.
I was gonna say, I imagine this is like, because she's from Illinois. I was born in Illinois. I kind of imagine this is from people who live in places where the grass is nice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because our grass is not nice here in Florida.
No.
And there's fire ants, so I'm like, I really don't want to be connected with the pokey grass and stuff like that. I mean, I guess beach sand, but I feel like that's not unusual. Most people don't, like, they go barefoot on the beach.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this feels like if you want to get connected to more of like the soil and all the things, this feels much more like you might have that nice soft grass. That probably would feel really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, the Kentucky bluegrass is nice.
Yeah, but our grass is not nice like that. I don't feel the need to put my feet in it. Nope. Okay, so let's talk some of the other reasons you might not want to. And I feel like this one's definitely a mom one. Protection for your feet.
Yes.
If you were barefoot running.
Since I have been an emergency trauma nurse as well as a wound care nurse, I feel that you should really protect your feet as much as possible, because once you do get an injury, as you get older, if your circulation is not good, you're going to have difficulty healing, and you could end up actually getting a very bad infection and actually lose the foot. So that you really should protect your feet from injury all the time, because And that means bug bites as well as it's just, picking up, stepping on something like glass or metal while you're running barefoot.
Or nails.
Or nails, yeah. It's too dangerous in
So-
that respect.
And that's the thing, is this is why it took me a while to even transition to being able to run outside, is because I had to find something to protect my feet. And I had a lot of, I'm gonna be honest, I had a lot of anxiety trying to figure out what I was gonna put on my feet, because I was really worried that I wouldn't be able to maintain form and not get injured.
But these sandals, though.
Oh, the ones I'm wearing?
Yeah, those at least protect your foot from getting injured. So you're not as risk because you're not stepping into grass with fire ants and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Well, and I'm not a trail runner either. I'm like I got these so I can run on sidewalks and asphalt.
Those protect your feet.
Yes.
We're talking about truly running with nothing on your feet.
Yeah, outside. In Florida, I would be like, I don't know. I'm sure there's someone who does, but I'm also then you got like moisture-ish. I don't know.
Yeah.
Florida's a tough cookie.
Yeah.
Just looking at my list of things reasons why you might not want to. I think we've hit on things like you could cause injuries, especially if you transition too quickly.
Right.
You could just have things from how your body was born, or from shoes and types of shoes that you've had throughout your life changing the form of your feet. That's possible to happen.
Yes.
Those would be reasons like maybe not.
Yeah.
Or if you're going to try, like literally try at 1 minute and just see. Because it might not, right? Because the theory is based on your feet having never really been in any sort of shoe that does this. And this is one of the things I see with people who probably are from up north, because I'm a Florida girl, so I wear flip-flops a lot. So I've had less opportunity for my feet to be changed than like if you lived in a place where you're wearing boots and shoes, and if you were wearing too narrow shoes, too tight, too short, that could change how your feet, especially if you've worn them for a long time.
Right.
So we've talked about that. We've talked about the terrain not just being good, because Florida.
Yeah.
If you're not on the beach.
Yeah.
Even if you're on the beach, if it's one of those good beaches with the good shelling, I could see that being bad too.
Yeah.
And then last one that they had on the list is you might just feel weird about other people seeing your feet.
Yeah, that's true. You might.
And that's okay. You don't have to do it. I think it has to be more important to you to barefoot run than your feelings of weirdness.
Yeah.
But especially places like Florida, having for people having running sandals, I feel like in Florida isn't as big of a deal. I feel like so many people wear sandals anyways.
Yeah.
Like I don't think anyone would even really notice.
I know people that wear flip-flops only, period. They don't wear other shoes at all.
Is one of those people me?
Yeah, you're one, but also Antoinette, my friend Antoinette, she doesn't like wearing other shoes.
Yeah. So maybe get into that Florida life and just wear sandals all the time, including when you run. So I hope this helps you think of some of the reasons you may want to, or maybe that's not the right choice for you. And if you have any questions that we can help answer, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you soon.
Have a good day.
Bye.